Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 24/7. Let's begin with the class today. Just a moment, everyone, and please let me know if I'm audible as well as visible today. We'll be talking about the topic today. Today is a blend of questions which includes both module A as well as part of module B as well as module C. So with every specific class that we are going through, I'm adding more and more modules in terms of the mixed questions. Just let me know if I'm audible as well as clearly visible. Okay, now in terms of the ABFM, we are having 80 days, 80 classes going on. So here comes the first question. This question relates to the module B there, right? This question says that IRR would favor project proposals which have heavy cash inflows in the early stages, evenly distributed cash inflows throughout the project, or heavy cash inflows in the later period, or none of the above. See, if I talk about the IRR, what is exactly IRR? IRR is internal rate of return. If the internal rate of return we talk about, this is a situation. IRR is a situation where whatever we are putting in the business today, right? Whatever the initial investment is, we are reaching at the same level today in terms of future cash inflows. So in this case, our total net present value becomes nil or it becomes zero. So when we talk about IRR, under this project, which particular IRR would be better? If we have heavy cash inflows in the early stages, even the PV factor is also higher. PV factor declines over the period of time. For example, let me give you a particular PV factor there. That is PV factor of 10%. If we take about 10% now, the PV factor would decline like this. For the first year, for 0th year, today it is 1 rupee. After 1 year, the value should be 0.909. Then 0.826, 0.751, then it goes up to I think 684. So it just goes like that. If you talk about this, if the amount is heavier in the beginning, it's good, right? It is even distributed, then the value become normal. If the heavy cash flows are at the later stages, the PV factor is also declining. Even if you have a higher amount, it is multiplied by a lower number. So ultimately that will give a normal number. But if both are higher, that means the first term is also higher as well as the PV factor is higher. Ultimately, what will happen? The answer will also be higher, because in the multiplication factor, two higher terms will give another higher term. In this case, the correct answer would be A. Heavy cash inflows in the early stages of the project would be there. This is the case where the IRR will be high. Okay, here comes the next question. This is to CAIIB again. That is, present value of inflows of rupees 10 lakh from the project and initial investment is 7.5 lakh. Of all the inflows is 10 lakh and when we talk about the area of initial investments, it is 7.5 lakh. So then it was what is happening exactly. The present value or PV factor is 10, II is 7.5, giving us an NPV of 17.5 lakh. Do we add them up, or we just individually take the initial investment 7.5 lakh, or we take the PV factor of inflows as the NPV, that is 10 lakh or 2.5? What do we do to find out the particular portion here? In order to find out the correct answer, what we need to do is we need to take it at 2.5 lakhs, right? Okay, so in this case, the correct answer would be, if 10 lakhs is the PV of inflows, we reduce the initial investments, giving us an amount of 2.5 lakhs. So the correct answer is D, 2.5 lakhs. Next question. Equity shares have an unlimited life, voting rights, and receive dividends. Limited life with no voting rights but receive dividends. Limited life, voting rights, but they receive dividend. Or unlimited life, voting rights, but receive no dividends. See, one of the basic things about equity is when the business is even dying now, even then equity shareholders get an importance. Remember that part. Equity shareholders will get a very important value in the organization because they are the true owners of the organization. They live as a scavenger. They don't get the money in the very beginning. They get money after everybody else has got money. First of all, whatever the amount would be given to the first level, that is the preference shareholders. No, first of all, it is given to the taxation people, debenture holders, bonds. They're just paying off all that interest and tax and everything else. Well, after that, whatever is left, preference shareholders enters and says, "Where is my money?" So we'll give money to the preference shareholder. Then whatever is left, then it comes to the equity shareholder. He gets the value after that. And why does this happen in terms of this working? Equity shares have they have an unlimited life. They get the voting rights because they are the owners or the risk takers of the organization, and yes, they receive dividends. Next point, which of the following best indicates the business risk? In terms of the business risks, the first term that we need to understand is called leverage. Before I move forward towards all these types, what is leverage? Leverage the term leverage can be taken from the word lever there. Lever means the thing that helps to gear up, right? We have a specific lever in our cars where we can increase or decrease the gear of the cars, isn't it? In the same case, we talk about leverage as well. Now, in terms of leverage, what do we do? Leverage is basically levering our business with either my own money or the business money, or basically the liabilities that we take from outside. It can be both the areas. So first is operating leverage, financial leverage, or combined leverage. Operating is where you are trying to, okay, let's start from the sequence here. First is financial leverage. When you are trying to reduce the fact that you are, overall, the perfect example is in terms of financial leverage, we are trying to have maximum profits and we are trying to increase the earning per share for our shareholder. So we, instead of going for shares, we go on to debentures or other bonds so that the share per person who are eating that particular profit, they are getting good amount of money. When I say eating a particular profit, I treat it as a cake. See, if there's a cake of 1 kg and hardly 3 people are eating it, everybody will get 1/3 part of it. If the number of people will increase and the cake is same, then even if they are bringing more and more capital, they are eating more and more in terms of the cake as well. Now, technically, you're not getting much. So you will try to reduce or keep the number of people limited there, but you will increase the size of the cake. Then we have operating leverage. Operating leverage means the leverage which talks about maximum profit for the business, the day-to-day profit there, right? And then we have combined. Let's play with it together. Ultimately, operating and financial leverage coming together becomes combined leverage. And then we have something called total leverage. Technically, there's nothing called total leverage there. We call it the combined leverage. So, but when we talk about this particular question, it is basically based upon best indicates the business risk. Day-to-day functioning of the business. The day-to-day functioning of the business is not related to financial or combined. It is purely related to operating leverage. We are trying to work on our business, right? So when we are trying to work upon our business, we work in this way only. Next point. The concept of management, which is both ends and means of an organization, are planning, organizing, staffing, or controlling. If I talk about this topic, what do you mean by it is both end and the means to something? Matlab, ultimately, this is the way to reach the goal and also the end of the goal, right? Is it planning, organizing, staffing, or controlling? What is the part? In this case, the correct answer is planning. Because without plan, how can we go ahead with things? Now, what is to be done, how it is to be done, what is the ultimate goal, and it also is the means to it. Because if we have a particular plan, I'll be having an end of that plan as well. Now, this is the end. This is something that I'm doing, and this would be the end of it. That is something that we'll be determining. That's planning. Achha, then next point is single-use plan or standing plan. Achha, there are different kinds of plans. Single-use plans are those plans which can be used only at one particular situation, and after that we are done with that plan. For example, launching of a new product. If I'm trying to launch a new product, the moment I launch that product, the launching event is over. Then I'll start with the next level of working there. So that is, we can have single-use or a standing plan. Strategic planning, tactical planning, operational planning, or none of the above. When we talk about all these plans, single use is basically just used once. Standing means it is used over the period of time. For example, retirement based benefits. People would retire at the age of 60. That is what is a standing plan is. So, is it basically strategic planning, which is determining the strategy of the organization, and tactical planning. Tactical planning is basically a part of strategy. Okay. Strategic is the long-term planning. How do we capture the competition? How do we grow further in the business? That is strategic planning. Tactics are those minor things that we try to reach towards strategies. Operational planning is the day-to-day planning. And then we say none of the above. In this case, the correct answer is operational planning. If I talk about the operational planning, it's basically the day-to-day planning that we do in the business now. That is how we can define this particular area. Now, the next point says that these plans usually take the course forming an organization's identity in the business environment. They take the specific course of business, how the business should go, what should be done. Everything has been specified in that way. These plans usually take the course of forming an organization's identity. If you talk about forming the organization's identity, it would be strategy, policy, procedure, or rule. Four things are there. Strategy is the way of achieving the objectives. Policy is something that is going on a general basis. Procedure is how to do it step by step. And rule is a very rigid line. If you do it, if you don't do it, then this is a punishment. That's how we define rule. It's the simplest form in terms of the business environment. So the correct answer is strategy. If I talk about strategy, strategy means the way of achieving those goals. Next point, ranking, rating, checklist are methods of transfer management, performance appraisal, promotional methods, or job description. If I talk about the ranking, rating, as well as the methods and the list to look forward to, the transfer management, performance appraisal, promotion methods, or job description. Ranking, rating is basically a part of the performance appraisal. We try to understand whether the person is going good or he's going bad in terms of their job profile. That is performance appraisal. If anybody is looking for promotion, how do we provide promotion to them is something that we determine in this area. Achha, the next question is, know-how and skill are characteristics of which aspect of management? In terms of management, where does the know-how and skill stand? It is management as an art, management as a profession, management as a science, or all of the above. See, as a skill is basically knowing that particular thing. For example, I might be knowing a specific way of working. If I have to look forward towards this area, then in this case, if I say I know that particular thing, that's an art for me. Know-how, if I had been doing dancing from the last 10 years, 15 years, then I learn that particular thing. I become skilled in it. If I'm good in painting, then that painting portion is my skill, which gets better and better every single day. Profession is basically determined in terms of degrees. Science is basically very rigid. Science doesn't have the know-how or skill, right? It has a particular methodology, and that's it. So in this case, the correct answer is all of the above. The correct answer is management as an art. That was the fourth point there. But then the answer is management is an art, because we are talking about the skills of that person. He has to keep on practicing, and that would be his personalized application. For example, cooking. Everybody cooks, but nobody is a chef there. Right? We do not say everybody is a chef there who cooks. The person who is professionally doing it is called a chef. But every other person who might be cooking for their household and everything, they are a part of that. And it's an art for them. Right? In this case, then management becomes an art. Okay. Next point is the relationship between administration and management. Admin is above management. Admin is part of management. Management and admin are same or all of the above. Relationship between admin and management. See, technically, in some parts of the world, admin is above management. In the other parts of the world, say no, management is higher than admin. But overall, there is another school of thought which says both of these are same. But the difference arises, especially in our country. Admin departments are normally situated in the government area, while we say the management department in the private sector. So that's the only thing, I have to differentiate between the two. So, in this case, the correct answer is all of the above are correct. Number 1, American concept says the admin is a stronger concept than management. And management believes that the Britishers believe that the management has a wider scope than the administration. And this third is that they are both believed to be the same. Technically, they are both believed to be the same. So, that's the answer. Now comes the next. Okay, this is where I end my particular session. I'm done with the session today. But if you're preparing for this particular examination, then what are we waiting for? Do you know the CAIIB Mahapack is there, and at the same time, if I talk about this particular batch of CAIIB, we have started with our another batch of CAIIB just now. And if you haven't started your preparation, kindly hurry up, because you cannot sit idle. Isn't it? You will have to make sure that you are giving your best shot in terms of the examination today itself. Because if you are not giving the best there, then how will you cope up in the examination? Because March is here. We just have a few months left. That is, the counted number of months are left in order to achieve our goals. So it is way better that if you are trying to achieve the goal, then we take up every single opportunity that is coming up. At this point of time, the chances are that the self-study becomes difficult, because considering each and every book that we are having in terms of the CAIIB examination is around 600 pages. So if you can read up all the 600 pages per subject individually within the next 2 months, then you can proceed with the area of self-study. But if you feel you have limited period of time and you want to make that every single hour or every single minute that you are spending on your examination fruitful, then why don't you go for the mentorship? What you can do is you can take up our courses. You can go onto the area of www.adda247.com, go into the area of JIB and CAIIB, and choose the CAIIB Kamaha Pack. If I say the CAIIB Kamaha Pack, the first and foremost benefit of this particular area is, in terms of the CAIIB Kamaha Pack, what are the benefits? You're thinking to look forward towards any of the goals. See, I think that the registration for CAIIB would be beginning from 1st of April, isn't it? Now the next point that comes is, have you decided which particular elective subject you are interested in? This is one of the basic questions that I'm getting. But the point is, if you look forward towards any of the electives there, then first of all, you will have to consider the fact, what is the syllabus for all the electives, and is it easy for you or difficult for you? Considering your education background and your work profile, you can choose your elective. But do you know, if you're looking forward to the electives, we have got all the 5 electives, be it rural banking, HRM, IT and banking, risk management, and even central banking. You'll find everything in our courses. So why don't you go ahead and check it out, right? In this case, you have got test series, you have got videos, you have got online live classes, plus you have got 40 ebooks already, and mind it, many more things are to come. So that means everything you will be getting in this particular pack, and at the same time, you're not only getting the syllabus-based classes. No, the live classes are there, but the mock test series are also there, video courses are also there, revision batches are also there. Whatever revision batch will come just before the examination, you will be a part of it. You don't have to pay a single penny after that. You will get ebooks, you will get numerical batches. If we start with any of the case study batches, then you are always there. Then topic books. But do you know you can not only access the English medium batch, but you can also access the bilingual batch. Technically, whatever your comfort zone is, you will be able to get through it. And at the same time, these are live classes. There are a few record classes as well. Most of the classes would be live, so you can check out the classes there. Right. So if you're looking forward to it, what is the plus point of this particular batch? To be very honest, because I think we are looking forward towards the finances area. So in this case, what you need to do is, as soon as you use the code Y541, you will get a discount of 81% overall. 81% means the particular discount would give you 7199 for 12 months. So if it is for 12 months, then if you look forward towards the per month amount, it is not even 900. It is not even 800. It is lesser than that. It is 7199.20. So if you're looking forward to it, so kindly check it out in our website, or what you can do is download the app, because you can collect coins and reduce this amount further for yourself. So earn coins and then reduce this amount further. Otherwise, if you go through the app and download the app, you can download the app from the description given below. Then you can get another discount of 1%. That is, you'll be able to get maximum discount of 81% in this scenario. So